Board Form 58-135, does anybody have anything?
Only thing I have is, I looked at the date of the retreat, and I will not be able to attend that, so I just want to give you a heads up on that.
And that was the same with me.
Alright. 58-136, consent agenda.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. 58-137, anybody signed up for public forum?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. 58-138, student and staff recognition. You want to do the students first? All right.
That'd be a good idea.
We'll go, Jay.
All right, so we got both boys and girls state qualifying teams here. I can't say enough good things about both programs. Obviously, the kids and the coaches, I thought this year went unbelievably good. I don't think you could have really made a better year than the way it went. We had 7 kids in both programs in the state finals, the most in any classification out of any school. I think that's an unbelievable honor of our kids that made it to the state finals, and the girls obviously being the first girls team to win a state championship. So, unbelievable year. So, like I said, a lot of hard work, dedication from these kids and our coaching staff to get them to this point. And so we're going to have each coach talk about their team. So, Coach Stanley, do you want to go first with the boys? All right, boys, come on up here. I know we're missing one boy and one girl tonight.
Yes. So, as you can see, 3 of our 4 boys state qualifiers. Zephyr and Xander both got second. They both had a great season, dominated every tournament, had a few close matches here and there. Sadly, both got second. I know they both really wanted to get first, but I know that's going to be something that'll help really drive them. Peyton, first year going to state, was really exciting for him. He had a great year, some ups and downs throughout the season, but finished the season strong. He ended the season strong. Colton Jones, who's not here, he had a really great season as well. At state, he kind of just had a tough draw and had some tough opponents, and sadly lost in the heartbreaks. But they had a great season, and I'm excited for their futures.
Good job, guys.
Zephyr, did I see that you signed somewhere for next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Fort Hayes.
There you go.
Go Tigers.
Coach Keller. Go girls.
Hey, Albert.
Albert, are you going to take pictures in the gym after everybody's done?
Yeah.
Tell them not to
Hey,
leave.
Blaze,
Yeah.
keep your team in the gym.
We're
They're
gonna get a picture.
pictures.
Don't let them run off.
All right, so we have 7 of our 8 girls state qualifiers here with, along with our 2 assistant coaches. It was a phenomenal year for us, obviously being state champions. It's a great group of kids to coach. I don't really have any troubles with them. I have 2 great assistant coaches with Easton Radetsky and Kean Miller. They are the 2 that really do the hard work, and I just get to sit back and relax, probably lean against the wall somewhere in a tournament and make those 2 guys do all the work. So, very proud of our kids, very proud of our coaches, proud of our community after a couple weeks ago. Winning a state championship is not something easy to do, but these girls set out at the beginning of the season to do that, and they accomplished that goal. So I would just like to highlight each girl we have here. Camry Nye, she wrestled 115 pounds for us, had a really good season as a freshman, was 1 match away from qualifying or from getting a state medal. So we know Camry's going to come back next year bigger and better and stronger. Ariana Waggle was another freshman. She was a state champion. The first freshman in, I think, school history to win a state wrestling championship. So she kind of started us off in the finals, got a big pin against the girls she's wrestled a lot of this year. So that was fun to see and fun to be a part of. And Carson Hamlin is our 3rd freshman, 125-pound state runner-up. Carson had a phenomenal state tournament. Kind of wrestled lights out, just ran in kind of a buzzsaw in the finals with a young lady from Norton. but we're excited for Carson's future. Avery Counts is a sophomore. She wrestled 130. She returned to the state finals after being runner-up as a freshman. I know she was really hungry for that state title that she missed last year, and she pinned her way through the tournament. Kind of was not even really worked that hard in the tournament. So, yeah. And then Maya Trevino is our lone senior. She was also one match away from earning a medal, but she had a great season, a great career. She is signed to wrestle at Barton Community College as they kick off their women's wrestling program next year. So we're going to be excited to see what she does in the future as a college wrestler. Chasey Bachman is a junior. She wrestled 140. She just missed the podium as well. Chasey had a phenomenal year. From last year to this year, she improved so much. So we're just looking for her to make another jump and get that state medal that's been eluding her for the last couple of years. Kinsey Zorn is our wrestler that cannot be here tonight. She's at a dance competition. Kinsey was our third state champion. She's a junior. She was a state champion last year and a state champion this year, so she is the first wrestler to earn multiple state championships in school history, so our first one to win it more than once. Kinsey was similar to Avery, just the class of her weight division. Nobody really could hold a candle to her, so that was a fun ride to be on. And then our last freshman and last state champion, Aaliyah Trevino, wrestled 155 pounds. Maybe had the most exciting finals match of the tournament, and he kept us all on our edge of our seat, and maybe gave me some gray hairs, some more ones. But we're super proud of Aaliyah. She beat a girl that was the defending 155-pound state champion senior in the state finals. So as you can tell, we have a young team. We're going to look to reload and do it again next year. So
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
We are missing one coach, Coach Winhouse, but I think he's got bigger things for tonight. But most of them are all here tonight, so very proud of them. And then we'll go out and take the picture.
And wait, don't we have a coach of the year here?
Yes.
I think they miscounted those votes. So.
Jason Keller?
Luke Keller.
Luke Keller. L-U-K-E?
Yep.
K-E-L-L-E-R?
Yep.
Russell?
I've wrestled.
Head coach?
Head coach.
Okay. Coach of the year?
Unfortunately.
Kansas State High School Athletics Association?
I was the regional Kansas State, or Kansas wrestling coaches
Regional Kansas Wrestling Coaches?
Howard, I can send it to you.
Kansas Wrestling Coaches
Association Coach of the Year.
Association?
And I can't remember the abbreviation.
Albert, I'll just send the rest to you.
2026?
Yeah. Okay. Regional Kansas Wrestling Coaches Association Coach of the Year for 2006. Yep. Okay. All right. Ship out, people. Let's ship out, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you want to do the institute?
That's really just an update, but yeah, I can do that.
All right, we're gonna do B and then A, so. Jordan.
B's just a really quick update. The admin team collaborated with the Dole Institute to bring them on site. And they were very appreciative, thanked our staff, and that is included in the board packet for you to read. So I wanted to highlight that and the collaboration that took place between them.
All right, we'll do the employees of the month. Neither one of them could be here because of parent-teacher conferences tonight, but we will still do their presentation. All right, so the classified staff member of the month is Tori Ansley, and the licensed is Carly Stanley. Tori has been a part of the community for 20 years, and she is a proud graduate of RHS. She loves being able to work in the same community where she grew up and where she is now raising her daughter. Her current role is secretary at Baker Dike. She enjoys helping to keep things running smoothly behind the scenes and supporting both staff and students. She especially values the opportunity to make a positive impact on students and contribute to a supportive school environment each day. She is appreciated and a valued member of the Baker Dike Elementary team. She was nominated by a co-worker, and this is what they had to share. Although Miss Ansley joined our school mid-year, she stepped into a demanding role with confidence, professionalism, and a positive attitude that immediately made a difference. Taking over a challenging position is no small task, yet she handled the transition seamlessly and quickly and became an essential part of our school's daily operations. From top to bottom, she keeps everything running smoothly. She is a master at supporting staff, students, and families with efficiency, kindness, and a calm presence, no matter what the day brings. She is dependable, proactive, and consistently goes above and beyond to ensure our school functions at its best. We are incredibly lucky to have her, and her impact has been felt in such a short amount of time. So if you're watching, thank you, Tori, for what you do.
And like Brett said, the February licensed staff recipient is Carly Stanley. Mrs. Stanley graduated from Fort Hays in 2014 with a BS in elementary education and has been employed as a teacher in USD 407 since graduating. She's taught 2nd and 4th grade during her time. She's married to Thomas and they have 2 girls. One's a 1st grader and the other will be starting preschool in the fall. She loves being able to see the growth that happens daily in the classroom. She stated it's the best feeling when a student is struggling and they finally have their aha moment and they start to soar. Carly was nominated by a coworker, and here's what they shared. Mrs. Stanley has a positive and friendly personality, and students always feel welcome in her classroom. She makes learning fun for her students while also having high expectations for them. She's a team player and is willing to help her coworkers whenever they need her. We are lucky to have her at Baker Dike.
Do we need to hold these up? I don't think so.
I don't think so. He's not here to take pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to stand in? You want to be the stand-in, Joe?
Give me a cut.
You're going to Baker Dike tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Take that to her. All right, curriculum corner, PE and health, 58-139, letter A, PE and health curriculum.
I have 2 quotes for you to consider this evening. The first is for PE health curriculum for 7th through 12th grade. The last time PE was up for adoption, it was skipped because they used Edgenuity, an online platform that they felt was sufficient for the health portion of that class. Since then, however, we don't use Edgenuity anymore, and there's a need for health curriculum, especially for our junior high and 9th graders. In the quote, this provides enough textbooks for students, a few workbooks for teachers to use, and online access for 6 years when this will go back on the curriculum adoption schedule. Do you have any questions?
Do we have formal physical education curricula at any of our buildings?
I can speak to the junior senior high school, and no, we do not currently. I think this is a step in the right direction. The essential health textbook also has a physical education component to it, but not a formal physical education curriculum.
So without a formal curriculum, how do we know that our students are meeting standards as they should be?
The textbook that is being recommended is being used since we got rid of Edgenuity. We have one teacher edition and one student edition. So I can't say that we're doing our best on that, but this, I think, would certainly help it.
Yeah, I fully support health curriculum, but I do feel like we need a physical education curriculum, we need standards, there needs to be assessment done. Students need to know where they stand and if they're achieving motor skills and development. So I'd like to see a little bit more, maybe looking into, see what's out there for physical education curricula. I know there's not a lot. I know a number of years ago, we had great curriculum. We had physical dimensions at the high school, physical focus at the middle school, and physical essentials at the elementary school. Those are outdated now, but I think there's curricula out there, and as a former physical education teacher, you know, if you have a curriculum, it really helps with your planning and how you process the whole year. Otherwise, I'm afraid we're going to resort back to a roll out the ball, and we do not want that.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna add something about the elementary level real quick. So we don't have a PE curriculum. However, Miss J and Coach Keller have both worked on like standards mapping to make sure that all the standards are being covered. So they have a document and they go through and select this unit covers these 4 standards or whatnot. So, and they have collaborated quite a bit to see if there are skills that the first grade go into second grade are lacking. So I don't want to speak for them, but they do a really nice job of mapping out their standards to make sure that the units are intentional in covering necessary standards. So I just want to share that that is occurring.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's a good start.
Yeah.
How long were they on the Edgenuity?
I don't have an exact answer for you, but it was quite a while.
Is this the only bid? I mean, were there other?
There were other publishers considered. This was the textbook that our PE teachers at the high school and junior high felt met their needs the best.
So you still do like half a year of health and half a year of PE freshman year, or
Correct.
somewhere in there? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So who's
And
getting
then-
to teach with one teacher's edition and one student edition right now?
What's that?
So who's the teacher that gets to teach with one student edition and one teacher edition right now?
This quote is for things that we're purchasing. They're going to send us 2 teacher editions because Coach Greenwood and Mr. Plummer teach, I'm sorry, I lost my train, 9th grade health and PE.
And is this just high school or is this also?
This has a middle school component, which all students take PE in middle school, but also they can elect to do junior high health and fitness also, so.
Okay.
Is this for high school and middle school both then?
Both, yes.
And it aligns well with what's being done at the elementary schools.
I believe so. Mrs. Revelle mentioned that the elementary teachers have been aligning their standards. We have 2 in all content areas. That's a part of our accreditation goal. So I believe that this would fit nicely with what elementary is also doing.
My only request would be that you kind of see what's available for a formal physical education curriculum also. Not that we have to purchase, but I really think we need to move in that direction.
Okay.
And you said they're back on the schedule, it'll be 6 years before they have another.
Correct.
We need a motion.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I move we accept the bid for the health curriculum as submitted for $4,955.39.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the health curriculum as presented for $4,955.39. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. All right.
The second quote that I've included in the packet is for diesel mechanics curriculum. We mentioned this last month as part of the Kubota program, but we have actually piloted this curriculum this school year. They gave us free access and Mr. Flagler has been using it. It is 100% online, but very engaging. I went and watched one of his classes where students were working on it, and students who struggle with attention were wired into this one. So I'm not asking for a purchase here. I'm just asking that this be adopted as our diesel mechanics curriculum so that when we do apply for the Kubota program, we have it in the board minutes that we have a curriculum for it.
And I kind of spoke with Kevin a little bit just in the hallway today for your parent-teacher conference, and this curriculum is good with the Kubota people.
Yes, this is one of three I believe that they recommended we look into. This would be a year-by-year purchase, and I think that's okay. I usually tend to not want to do that, but this way we can purchase the number of licenses each year that we need instead of having some just sit out there.
So this one says there's a site license and then there's a MTST for 12. So if we have less than 12 sign up, we're able to order less than that, right? So,
Yep.
okay.
This is kind of just giving
Just to get
you
an
guys
idea.
an idea
Okay.
of how much it would cost.
That seems pretty easy.
I move that we accept the curriculum as presented to be adopted for the diesel mechanics program.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the curriculum as presented for the diesel mechanics program. Is there any discussion?
Are we going to have that facility updated before this can go into effect, or can they, you said we've been piloting it, it can be done even without us having to have that room totally remodeled?
Yes, we won't purchase this until we begin the Kubota program.
We're just adopting it so Kubota knows that we have adopted a curriculum so we can be
Research
accepted.
curriculums and have
Yeah.
selected ones.
I think the next, when did, I can't remember when Kevin said that the Kubota people are coming to inspect the place that.
We're hoping this school year, end of April is kind of our goal. Since last meeting to now, we've been going through that shop. Today, Kevin and I went through and he shared his thoughts on what needed to be saved, what needed to be taken care of. So in April, we will have a list for you of things for surplus or things that we're going to keep in that shop. There's just years of equipment that don't work or that have just been sitting around that we need to take care of regardless. So, like the Kubota guy, end of April, early May is what we're hoping.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, Dr. D.
Wow.
Thank you.
58-140 discussion items, letter A, FFA farm improvement.
We're gonna table this until April and bring it
Okay.
back to you.
Okay, letter B, Russell Junior Senior High School video board update.
Yes, we set a deadline as March 1st for the video boards. We did not meet that deadline. I believe that was the second time we pushed that back. I do not feel confident that delaying that any further would be beneficial for us. There's a lot of training that would have to go on, and we're not gonna be able to meet that timeline. So I did reach back out to Daktronics to continue the work of Mr. Stevie. We previously had a quote from them to replace the scoreboard as is. In my conversation with them, the price didn't really change, which is good. And they feel if this were to be approved today, that installation could occur in early June, so that we would be ready for football season. So I would recommend at this point that we replace this as is and capitalize off the insurance claim that we have in for the project.
And how much did we receive from the insurance? 30 what?
And this bid that we're looking at is just for what we have now.
Replace as is, correct.
Was it 30
Football season 2027?
6.
36, 37, somewhere in there?
Let me see if I can.
That's almost it.
Replace the scoreboard. Where's the scoreboard?
I can go grab that and that folder.
But it was fairly high 30s, so we're looking at covering
The bulk
the
of it.
bulk of it.
Yes,
If this
correct.
bid is 43,894,
Well, and I thought
So
that there
5
was
of them.
something in there where if it was over, they were gonna pay the
The
difference.
scoreboard we received was $39,420.
Mr. President,
Yeah,
I'll
Ron.
make the motion that we approve the purchase of the scoreboard as presented for a cost of $43,894.
second.
It's been moved and seconded that we have approved the purchase of the videos, well, it's not really
Yeah,
a
it's
video,
scoreboard.
scoreboard as presented in the cost of $43,894 from Daktronics. Sorry, any discussion?
Just one quick question. So insurance is 39,000, did I understand that
Correct.
right? Okay.
Insurance was $39,420.
39,000. Yeah, I just wanted to double check. Okay.
So we're technically, covering what, $4,400 essentially? And this is replacing what we have. This
Just-
isn't the
just
discussion
putting
that
it
we've
back.
been having about a video board or anything. This is like strictly
As is
what we've got.
replacement.
Okay.
Okay.
At Schaefer
So to
Field,
make that clear.
Yeah.
damaged by the hailstorm in May 2000,
Yeah.
in March 2004?
May.
May 2004.
Yeah, 24.
2 years.
All right, any more discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. Letter C, elementary playgrounds, Mr. Perez.
Yes, Mammoth Construction is still working on the plans for Bickerdike. We were hopeful I would have them by today. I do not. So I will table this until next month and present those plans to you when received.
And that was to do like the full, not just the little spots where they get hurt in between. Okay.
All right, letter D, excess property disposal.
We previously discussed that we have a 2018 16-foot enclosed trailer that we would like to dispose of. It was requested that we look at all of our fleet to see if there's anything else. Barb Evans and I feel comfortable that we could dispose of a 2003 bus, specifically that is bus 20. It's a 34-passenger bus, and that bus is set to be retired in 2028.
That won't leave us short
It will not leave us
in
short.
any way.
No. The other thing, and then I'll let you discuss this, I was approached about the library books here at the district office. Joan has been doing a phenomenal job of taking those books and putting them in our other schools. She requested that the excess books that we really don't have a need for, she was curious if we'd be willing to engage with the public library to see if they would like any of them, and she mentioned one other place, and for the life of me, I can't think of it. So I would ask that the books we are not using, that we get the ability to donate those or sell those at a discounted rate.
Yeah, I think that's
That's a great idea.
So how do we wanna,
Yeah,
how do
we're
we
gonna-
wanna dispose of our property? Do we wanna go through an auction, online auction site, or do we wanna do a sealed bid?
How have they done in the past?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Sealed bids don't cost you anything, but they usually don't bring in the amount of money that online auctions do. Online auctions usually, what is it, 10%? Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Is it usually worth the 10% though?
Well,
I mean, do you usually get about
We-
10% above where?
on previous ones, I feel like we did. This being only 2 items, we're probably, I guess probably might as well just do sealed bid and get it over with and get it out of our hair. When we did the other ones, we had a lot more items. We had bigger items. We had an activity, 2 activity buses, I think, and a bigger bus. I remember there were some other things.
I'm comfortable with sealed bid.
Me too.
Lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
What about the stuff that's in the shop? Like, would that be worth putting out there? I mean, we don't know what that is. I don't have a clue.
We can do that later.
Later, okay.
Yeah. I guess if we wanna, unless we wanna wait and do it all as a package and get it into like Purple Wave or Big Iron at one time.
I'd say get rid
How,
of these. because
how
that-
long
I don't
are you
know.
thinking before that stuff's ready?
I plan to bring that back to you next month.
Oh, well, maybe then we ought
Do
to
you
wait.
want to take?
Yeah,
a
maybe
list?
we just hold on to these until we know how much more equipment we might have, might make it worth.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't know what's gonna be used.
We can load up the enclosed trailer and just.
Yeah, look at your
There,
trailer and
do
say,
the whole thing.
kind of like they do at an auction, they give you the whole
What do they
box.
call those?
Storage unit.
There you go. You just get what's in there.
So table until April.
Table,
Do you want to do the
Trailer
table's getting full.
The library books, though, I think we
Yeah.
could go ahead and approve that tonight.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion or just consensus?
Yeah, motion.
Mr. President, I move we allow the public library or any other entity that might be interested in the books that we donate, the books that we are not using for them.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we allow the books that we aren't using to be donated to the public library or other entities. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.
Access books at the high school library?
No.
Out of this library up here.
The district office library?
Yeah.
So they're probably just all like middle school level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books.
Who seconded that?
Might get some Judy
I do.
books.
Letter E, summer board retreat.
Yes, the date that worked best for everyone was June 27th, so we will plan on meeting from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock here at the district office. Some topics that I have written down are data review, needs assessment, capital outlay plan, facility priorities, and strategic plan. If you have any other topics that you would like added, just let me know so I can begin preparing that.
I think one that, and I don't know, maybe it's included in one of those, but one that we've always seemed to talk about was CTE planning, you know, future planning for that. And maybe those focus groups that were created will have some ideas to bring back at the, have any of them met, do you know?
The marketing one has met for sure.
Okay.
And if there's any part of that that I could complete prior to, since I'm not going to be there, you know, like facility priorities or anything, if you're gonna do a new reprioritization, I'd be glad to do that, I just cannot be there that day.
One thing, do we wanna do, like we did last year, where we had hamburgers and hot dog, or brats, and everybody bring a side dish like a potluck?
That went over well last year.
Wow.
So Jane, when you have free time, will you make a sign-up sheet and send it out to us?
Bananas.
You have plenty of time now.
Bananas.
Seems like it's so far
Bananas and
away.
coconuts.
And Ron, you won't be here.
Bananas and coconuts.
As far as I know, my schedule won't let me.
Yeah, bananas and
If that
coconuts.
changes it all, you know.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion on that? Anybody have anything else they want to add? Administrators, is there anything that you want on that agenda?
I think you guys covered it.
Okay. Letter F, curtain project at the junior senior high.
Yes, I have forwarded all invoices received to Katrina for this. Our current spending is going to be just under $12,000 at this point, which is under budget. If you haven't been to the high school, the curtain does look great. It's almost
$12,000?
weird walking in there and not being able to see through it. So I just want to give a thank you for Booster Club for putting that in motion.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It does.
Great project.
The Booster Club?
Yeah. Maybe we should get a thank you
Thank you
card.
card, yeah.
and
So
send
they did a
send
lot of
that to
painting
them.
in there too, from what I understood.
Painting?
Yeah.
They did.
So,
Alright, letter G, KSB membership renewal and season pass.
The KSB membership renewal fee for next school year is $10,952.21. The season pass is $1,750, so those two together are $12,702.21. And then the legal assistance fund fee is $3,100. That's a $352.54 increase compared to last year, with a total amount of $15,802.21.
we used the tar out of this thing.
We
Yes, we
need
do.
this, yeah. Mr. President,
Yes, Doc.
I move we renew the KASB membership season pass and legal assistance fund for a total of $15,802.21.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we renew the KSB membership season pass and legal assistance fund for a total of $15,802.21. Is there any discussion?
Can you like give me a rundown of what it is?
So, anytime you wanna talk about it, you
Sure.
you talk about it, I don't wanna talk.
So the legal assistance, all of it, we have access to the attorneys who are very well educated in school law and all things school related. There are many times we run things by them before we even consider making decisions. They look at contracts, they analyze anything and everything for us, and they keep us out of litigation. The season pass gives us access to all their training, so every year we go to employment seminars, all the important compliance things to make sure that we're protecting ourselves as a district and not putting ourselves in bad positions. That's it in a nutshell.
We've used this multiple times.
Yeah, well, I met the lawyers and stuff when we went to Wichita.
Yeah, we get what, 2 free entries into the convention with them, or one?
One. And if you pay to go to each one of these training, it's $50 to
Oh, yeah.
$75 a
Oh, yeah.
person. So-
Yeah, I've attended numerous trainings and a lot of the online trainings that are paid and they're very beneficial.
Wow.
I think our office alone, 10 entries into trainings every year, probably at least.
Yeah.
And then
And they also have-
negotiations, training, and
They also have advocates that go to Topeka and they work with the legislators and they present KASB's view of what they're thinking on the bills that are before them.
Right, yeah, okay.
I was involved with that a lot earlier on, and that's just very, very helpful.
Well, even the legal assistance is, you can, if
That's
you
like
ever have to
10
sit down
hours.
with an attorney, you know what it is for a phone call.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's on a discounted, that's probably worth it in itself.
Yeah, alright. Any other discussion? All in favor of this? All opposed? Motion passed. Letter H, at-risk funding. Jordan?
Yes.
I'm going to explain this before I show it. We've been talking about at-risk measures moving forward. We still do not have all the details, but we have a much better understanding. There are going to be people supporting us through this process as it begins next year. But what we do know is that there will be 2 cohorts of at-risk students that each school district will be tracking. Unless they are a small district and do not have 11 in a grade level, then it gets a little more complicated. That does not apply to us. So each district will have 11 at-risk students. You will want to choose more than 11 at-risk students because at the end of the 4 years, you must have 11 students who have been with you from day 1 until the end. So let's say that we have a 3rd grade cohort and we might choose a 2nd grade cohort. What they are going to do is track those state assessments over time. The goal for the state is 75% of students scoring in level 3 and 4. I will tell you currently that is not happening here, nor probably anywhere. But each school district will be writing their own goals. I do not know what that looks like. That has not been announced yet. And again, they will work with us. What I do know is that at the end of 4 years, you will look at your 2 cohorts and you will say, did they make progress or not? So current school funding at each year, there's a CPI increase to the base. That base is very important for school districts. That increase is what helps you cover health insurance, wage increases, property insurance, your co-op increase. All that money goes towards all those things. So what will happen if one of those 2 cohorts does not make progress? You lose half of your next year's increase. And if both cohorts do not make it, then you have no increase to your base the following school year. I'm going to demonstrate quickly how impactful that is.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
So you pick we get to pick the cohorts, or does the state?
We get to
say?
pick one cohort.
One
One will be
cohort,
mandatory,
And then
correct.
they'll do the other.
Do we know what the mandatory one is yet?
3rd grade as of now.
Okay.
Third grade. And
Which
you
makes
say at
sense.
least 12 kids, but we should do more.
11 kids,
I wanna make
but you
sure
need to
that-
have more. There were some pilot school districts that are gonna give more guidance.
Okay.
But if you're transient, if you have a lot of kids in and out, then you definitely want to choose more than 11 because you need to end with 11 students. And again, they are at-risk students, so they have to be identified as such. So I'm going to show you 2 different scenarios. This is just our FTE. Again, we're not funded off head count. We're funded off how much time they're in school with us. And I'm going to give you 2 examples using recent years. So this is 753 was our FTE 3 years ago. 733.7 was right after that. If the base is 5,600, and then the next year it increases to 5,800, and we lose students, this would be how much more money we would gain. In the same scenario,
Yes.
if we did not meet those learning objectives and we still had a declining enrollment, so again, declining enrollment, but because of CPI, we gained almost $40,000. Same scenario, we would lose $108,000 if we don't meet those learning objectives. This is our most recent FTE. So this was last year, and this is our projected this year. We do not have our official number. It has not officially been audited yet. But in that same scenario, if we got the CPI increase to the base, we would lose $92,000 in that school year. Moving forward, if we did not meet those learning objectives for either of them and we did not have an increase to the base, instead of $92,000 deficit, we'd be looking at a $230,000 deficit. What I have not shown is there are actually additional weightings. I just used our FTE to make it the easiest for you to understand. That is why we've been really taking deep data dives and looking at what we are doing within the classrooms, because no school district can afford to lose that money. Next month, I will bring comparative data to you, and I will present that to you. The only data they really care about is state assessment, so next month, I will share data with you, and we'll talk about that.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
So the kids you pick, they have to be kids that are at-risk kids.
That is
They
correct.
can't be your,
They have to be identified as
and they want
at-risk.
them to be at a 3 or a 4?
75%
Like,
is
are
the
they nuts
case.
or crazy or what?
Anybody,
Anybody ever teach? Okay.
I dare you to find districts that have that now.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that you just, said what I was gonna say. Everybody needs to contact their legislature.
Yes,
Yes.
I think
Tell
so,
them how
because this is
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah.
The
Especially when they're
idea,
only looking at state assessments and no
Yeah.
other
Exactly.
items that influence a
Right.
child's ability, an at-risk child's ability
Exactly.
to function in school and to learn and to grow.
And, you know, I could see if they went by growth, right? You could show that they growth, but to say that you're gonna be at a 3 or a 4,
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty,
That's
I mean,
setting us up for failure.
what
Yeah.
percentage of at-risk do we have right now?
our free and reduced is 51.
Is that what it's just set at now, is just the free and reduced? Or there are other,
Right,
Send the food
little-
service
Our
report.
free and reduced district-wide is 51.6%.
but that's what they are clarifying as
There
a.
are other at-risk factors.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
I thought so. Which then would bump it over 51% then, using other factors as well. So gut feeling, how many do you think we're gonna have to do in a cohort in order to make sure we have 11 at the end when it's?
Yeah, so interesting, if you look at our student enrollment, we have the same number of students today as we did on September 20th, okay? Which is good.
Yeah.
We have the same number. Kindergarten has changed from 47 to 48. First grade has changed from 74 to 73. Second grade has changed from 60 to 62. Third grade has switched from 58 to 57. Fourth grade, 47 to 48. Fifth grade has stayed the same. Sixth grade has went from 44 to 40. Seventh grade, 61 to 60. Eighth grade, 52 to 55. Ninth grade, 62 to 61. 10th grade has remained the same at 49. 11th grade went from 49 to 51, and 12th grade 51 to 50. So that shows how much we have in and out. And that doesn't capture all of it because there might have been others in there, in and out. So I'm really gonna have to rely on guidance of the districts who piloted and see how many students they typically have in and out. But I would say, knowing that, and this is just one school year, I would probably want to beef it up to 18 students to be safe, just to make sure that you make sure you end with 11 students that started.
That's my guess, is I
Go
think
ahead.
that's low.
As far
Personally.
as student reporting, we have a spreadsheet that we track students on that come and go because we have to start accounts, shut down accounts, and there's certain things we have to do when they move. As of today, we've had over 205 students come and go since school has started.
Yeah.
205?
And some of them have come and gone, left and come back.
Yeah. And that's what I think, when we see the numbers for the number of students in our school district dropping, some of those come in and then they're gone within weeks. And then, I mean, I remember teaching one class that I think I had 18 in it, but by the end, I think I might have had 5 that started and ended that were the same. Everybody else had kind of flowed through, because you can see that on your power school with who left, drops to the bottom, and yeah, it's insane, and that's a very big problem that we're facing, especially in the school district.
Are we somehow dinged if we don't pick a larger number?
I'm not sure what will happen. Again, there will be more guidance this summer, so I don't have all the answers yet.
And when is it supposed to start?
Next school year. The encouraging thing is it should tie right in with our KISA goals and everything we're currently doing. It'll just be one other thing that we're putting an emphasis on and making sure that we are tracking those cohorts and increasing our state assessment scores.
Well, it makes it really tough to plan anything, I mean, budget-wise. I mean, we've got infrastructure needs, you know, different things that we're gonna be looking to, you know, spend money on, and as well as taking care of our staff and our school and all that stuff. How do they expect us to budget?
Well, and I hope I mentioned this at least, that will happen after year 4. So there won't be any budget implications until the end of that 4-year tracking of them.
But if you're talking a $200,000 decrease,
That's why we have to make sure we are doing all we can.
To me, they're looking at it backwards. If you're not meeting, they should give you 200,000 more to hire more educators to help you fill the gaps.
There's been so many programs developed and tossed aside for this very thing. It's a lot.
yeah.
Any other discussion? Anybody
Well,
have
yeah.
Other questions?
Not
We're
yet,
gonna have
but good
time
luck.
for-
All right, the last discussion item on the agenda tonight, and it's gonna be the big one, is the bond election results. And you talk about that again, Mr. Cruz?
You want me to talk? I guess
I
my
will
question
let you.
is, where do you want to go from here?
Well, we can read Facebook and get about 1,000 of them.
I think we need to seriously look at our facilities priorities. I mean, it's pretty obvious that we're gonna have to fund whatever renovations or whatever needs we have at this point. And I think there are some that, you know, I think we did a fairly good job of prioritizing, but I think after the bond didn't pass, maybe we need to go back, and I know at that retreat, that's gonna be one of the big things, is reprioritizing what absolutely must be done and what can we put off. Because obviously, we have some serious needs, and we don't have tornado shelters, and we have plumbing issues, and we have, you know, I don't know where to begin to meet those needs. Some of the recommendations were to try to get, you know, maybe public groups to come together to raise money to fund this. But I think we ask so much anyway of our public, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I just kind of, I mean, the one that I thought about was the you know, the curtain project, which I love the curtain. It looks so much better. Definitely something we needed, but that was a 2-year project to come up with a few $1,000s, or whatever it was. What was the 30,000. Well, our projects are kind of topple that.
Yeah, the
quite
play-
extensively.
The play park was $1 million, and it took how many years? I don't think they've even reached that yet, have they?
No, they're still working
Yeah,
on that.
so,
I think the bigger challenge is, those are fun projects because you get to see
Yes.
them. You don't get to see plumbing.
Yeah.
That's not cute or fancy, so
But you sure appreciate it
You
when
do.
it's not working right.
you do.
well, we can always get porta potties.
I started looking into a program that was brought up. It's called Renew America School Program. But as of right now, as much as I've looked into it, I feel like everything's going in a circle. Every link I take takes me to something that I've already looked at, so I'm
Yeah,
I
so
think-
let me talk about that. We were on track to apply for that, however, it was defunded, so it's no longer.
Oh, that's no
exists.
longer a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
Yeah, most
the
of
Renew America to renew the infrastructure of diminishing schools is no longer a thing.
And what that was for was energy savings.
Oh,
So we could, however, have done HVAC. We had to partner with another school because we didn't have enough facilities to apply, so we were going to partner with a school out of state. However, that no longer exists, so.
so when did that go? That's probably why I was getting run in circles with
Yeah.
everything.
I
That
don't
was
remember how long ago that was.
maybe a
Just
year
last
ago.
school year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I
it's been-
remember
it's
talking
been done
about
for,
it.
It's been
for some
dead for a
time
while,
then.
yeah.
Okay.
This last school year we talked about it.
Yeah, that would have been a wonderful source. There was another source through FEMA, wherein we would have had some substantial help with shelters, storm shelters, making multi-purpose buildings that had multiple uses, but could be used as emergency shelters. You know, if we'd have been on the ball when we first, and Brett's the one that brought that up, if we'd been on that a lot sooner, we could have had these places. We did not envision that drawing up.
It goes back to the shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
It was 75% what they'd pay.
Yeah, it was nice. You know, we're back to, like Joyce was saying, we're gonna have to pick the number one, figure out a way to somehow fund it, realizing that it's gonna take us substantially longer to pay it off. The cost is gonna be substantially higher. I think what was missed in the bond discussions, unfortunately, it wasn't due to any of our roles or anything that we didn't say, because we were making it known, it's just it wasn't gaining any traction. And that's the idea, that if we're gonna do these things incrementally or step by step, in the long run, it's gonna cost us substantially more and take us tremendously long. So, but that's where we're at. So I think Joyce is right, we're gonna have to come back, make sure that our number one is our number one, and then, you know, how are we going to then step into that? You know, we may be doing what we're doing with some of our other funds and setting that money back with the idea of maybe leveraging that in some way. There was something proposed that I heard and read about, some were throwing around, and that was that certain ones within the community that had the ability would contribute, you know, with their own personal funds or commercial funds, whatever, towards, you know, individualized projects. I mean, I'm all for that if we can somehow organize that. But-
So is that something we can set up with,
The foundation.
The foundation,
Uh,
and like, just, you know, this fund right here is specifically for the plumbing at the junior, senior high.
But the thing is it's already there. It's just not nobody's really utilizing it that way.
So,
have
well,
the
we probably
building
need to
there.
publicize it
Well, and it's
a little
been
bit more.
publicized, but again, we're just gonna have to come back to it again and again and again and say, you know, if that's the way we would choose to go.
I think, like on the foundation, the biggest hurdle there is they don't have anybody to go visit with. I mean, they're all volunteering their time. It would help if there would be a way that they could hire somebody to be there 4 hours a day or 4 hours a week. And maybe their pay be based on how much money they raise. And I'm not on that committee, but I think that's something you guys may look at.
That's an idea.
And, you know, maybe they can go talk to these people and say, hey, this is what we're coming up with. And I think our focus has to be on facilities and facilities alone, and the foundation focus on athletics. You know, the turf, the track, they can start fundraising for that. We have to put all available monies that we have of it towards plumbing at the high school, plumbing at Bickerdike. It's embarrassing when you start telling people that you have an elementary school that they can use one set of bathrooms in the whole building. And people are like, well, they can still use them, and I'm like, that's not the point though. It takes longer to walk clear across the damn school, excuse my language, to use the restroom for these kids that shouldn't have to when there's restrooms right outside the classrooms that they could use.
Well,
And-
if you've taught, we all know what kind of issues that presents when you have children wandering the building.
Oh, yeah.
Unsupervised on their way to the restroom and back, and how much time that takes away from classroom learning.
And I mean, I think that's priority one, and it's on the list to get done over spring break, possibly, if not this summer, at Bickerdike. And then the next one is we gotta fix hot water lines over at the high school. That has to get done whether we want to or not. That has to be done because right now, that science wing or math wing, whatever they call that now, there's no
Math
heat.
and science.
Yeah, no heat in that wing. I mean, they have it shut off. They're using space heaters because there's leaks underneath there. And we need to get that fixed over the summer as well. So we need to probably send out a new priority list. We all need to fill that out again, see how everybody's thinking. That's my opinion. I think we could reconvene a smaller steering committee to get started, kind of like we did a couple years ago, Joyce. And maybe be in partnership with the foundation and say, these are what the priorities of the district are right now.
My concern is if just John Q. Public decides I want to donate to the foundation, but I want my money to go to turf or whatever, and then someone else donates to something else. I think that in order to pull off a project, we need everybody donating to that project rather than smattering a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. So I think the foundation too has got to say, you know, this is priority number one for people who are donating. Now, I know people have personal beliefs about what they want to donate to, but putting $5 in 5 different pots isn't going to get you where you need to go with a project. We need everybody focused on what is the most important thing that needs to be funded or needs to be done. And
that sounds good in
but yeah,
practice.
but how do you get people to do it?
But when they're given money, they're gonna give money to who,
To what they feel.
what they want, and then the foundation doesn't take that role as far as say, well, you have to go here. And I don't know, and I can't speak for the foundation, but I don't know if we want to even put them in that position, although I agree with
Yeah,
you.
I understand.
But
Somehow we have to get people to understand that, you know, we appreciate every donation, but if we have 5 different things being donated to, we may not be able to accomplish any of them. If we have one, we could potentially accomplish it. So again, I think when we prioritize, we need to publicize what is the number one thing that we really have to focus on. And, you know, Brett's already said, that these plumbing things are somewhat scheduled, they have to be done. And then following that, what's next?
Well, we could surely set do maybe 2 and not, do all of them all at once. And, establish it that way. They still get a choice whether they want to do their sports stuff or do the structural, but that still splits it down, just takes it down to 2. And if, the sports one gets filled in first, then it kind of tells you something too.
The foundation's done a really, really good job, I think, and, our basketball goal project was living proof of it. They really rallied and got people, and they were working towards that project, pushing that project, and then we see the results of that. We were able to do that in a relatively short period of time. Not anywhere as big money-wise as some of these other projects, but still, we got a lot of traction in a short period of time. If we were to do that, or they were to do that, but it's still gonna take us a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these, we're talking well over $1 million,
Jordan, do we have a cost on what the plumbing would be right
No,
now?
we're gonna have someone look at it.
Okay.
So do we just do,
We can go back
we just
and
do
look.
bids?
we can
Go
go
back
back
to-
and look and see what it was estimated at in the last one, because it was all broken out in there. I would just have to go back and look.
Now, I'd like to run an idea by all of you. So I am wondering about this building, because some people voted against the bond because this building is no longer a school. And so I've looked into it a little bit about putting it on the Kansas Registry for Historical Places and what that would do for us and what it would entail. And one of the things it would do for us is anything that costs more than $5,000, you get 40% of that in tax credits, meaning that community members can purchase those tax credits. So if they're looking for a tax write-off, which a lot of them, that's why they donate, that would be beneficial for them. Plus, it would also allow them to say they're helping keep this building afloat, alive. This building, it means a lot to a lot of people. It has a lot of significance in our community. It was a WPA project, which is very cool. It's a post-rock limestone building. Bob Dole graduated from high school here. Those are important things, and I feel, if we maybe pursued that, just to look into it. We might get into it and say, oh, this is not gonna work. So I guess what I'm maybe saying is, maybe if you would allow me to look into that, and maybe at the next meeting, I could share more information with you, like what would be the pros and what would be the cons to doing it, because are cons to putting it on a registry.
Kansas City Historical Registry.
I mean, it could also be on the national registry too, but that does not, I don't think that benefits in tax credits, as Kansas is generous with their tax credits for buildings that are trying to be preserved.
Does that restrict us from being able to utilize it or to sell it?
No,
or
you
the-
can still.
What are the restrictions?
I don't know all the restrictions, Joyce, that would be something I'd have to look into, but what I've learned so far is like, if you're wanting to change something, you have to have permission. You have to send it to their committee and they have to approve it. So I don't even know for sure whether I'd be able to tell you those things, because like HVAC, this building would need HVAC, right? And how would that look and would it change the building? I don't know the answer to those questions.
Well, and that's something that we had kind of talked about when we first started looking at this building originally, as far as doing any upgrade. You know, when you step into that, it's just like with the theater, you can't change the building in ways that would cause it to lose its historical presence,
Right.
and usage and all of that. So you're right, there are a ton of
Yeah.
things that are negative if you was to put them in the negative column.
Right.
And you're right, there are some financial advantages for doing that too. But that's one of the big ones, is that you can't change.
Yeah, and you know, I can't foresee that we'd want to change the actual structure of the building, right? Take the limestone off or whatever, you know.
Like if you tear down part of the building.
Right, you know, now that doesn't mean, you know, way down the road, those things might happen, but I just feel like as far as the community goes, you know, what else could this building be used for? It's got an auditorium, our only auditorium, by the way, and a gymnasium, and I just can't imagine, I mean, I've thought a lot about it, and I just don't know what else it would be used for.
Right now,
hate to see it
we
abandoned.
need the auditorium.
We
and
do.
need
We have to have the auditorium. And, you know, so eventually, you know, if that were to work, you know, we could maybe close Bickerdike and let those kids come over here.
I would
mean,
love to
don't
look
know.
at it again.
That would be one
To
school
make
we
sure.
would have less, right? So, I don't know. But if you'd be willing to let me do that, I'd be happy to.
There's
Give
gonna
you
be
some pros and cons.
There'll be a lot of restructuring to get it ADA compliant, because none of the bathrooms are ADA compliant on this side.
Right. Well,
And that'll be, when you start talking structural issues,
yeah.
you're looking at, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm just looking back in 15, when they, just to replace the heating system was $2.5 million back then.
I was wondering, do you still have that information from the?
Yeah, it's in your packet. It's in your drive.
It's available on the drive.
Oh, it's on
yeah.
the drive.
Yeah.
Okay, if I look at what
The previous bonds and.
that had the
had
middle
that
school in
breakdown,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for that.
And I think the last time that we had, after we did the electrical updates here, we had Train look at putting a 4-pipe boiler chiller system in, and it was $6.5 million in 2020. And the reason why it's so expensive is, first of all, there's a ton of asbestos in this building, just like the high school. And second, these pipes are in tunnels to some extent, but most of them are encased in concrete, so they're gonna have to break a lot of concrete out. So the other option we did look at was bringing in ductwork, lowering the ceilings, and putting in that style system, putting it as, cause you know, you can see these are like 12-foot, 10 or 12-foot ceilings, so you could put ductwork overhead, and they were gonna run it in through them windows above the doors into the classrooms. That was their plan, to get the fresh air, or the air movement into the classroom. That was still pretty expensive. I think it was around $4.5 million, and they were trying to figure out how to get the ductwork into the building through the rock
Yeah.
without damaging the building.
If it's a historical building or classified as a historical building, then we wouldn't be able to do some of that.
Yeah. And the plumbing, I mean, just the sanitary plumbing is shot. The bathrooms upstairs, I don't even think can be used anymore.
The bathrooms can. There are places on the east side of the building where the water's been capped off.
Okay.
Yeah. So like where they had like custodial closets and some of those other things. As far as I know, I haven't went up to the restroom there for a while. Maybe I should.
I mean,
I think they're still functioning.
check
I'm
it out.
not opposed to looking into it, but I don't think that I think you're spinning your wheels.
Mhm.
And there's a reason why we wanted to get out of this building. We have already looked at this. When Shelley was here, we had talked about doing the same thing. We had actually talked about closing Simpson and Bickerdike and moving all the kids over to here. And it just, I mean, it wasn't feasible.
Yeah, I'm not opposed either to having you look.
Okay.
I really question, yeah, whether it would be feasible, based on, any restrictions they might have and the serious needs of this building structurally. But,
And if we're gonna put any money anywhere, I would, just me personally, I would not wanna put it in here unless we absolutely have to, because it needs to go into our other buildings so much more.
well, if changing this building would allow us to close Bickerdike, a building that might need a lot of work, that might be worth it. But I really think to make this building work for that purpose would cost 4 times as much as it would to repair Bickerdike. That's just off the top of my head, I don't know figures. I just think there's a lot of significant issues with this building. And I totally appreciate the historical value of the building. There's some real significant structural issues.
They wanna pay for all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something else.
But I do appreciate you.
I might be
Yeah.
able to remember.
Yeah, but go ahead,
That's an option.
look into
I'll
it.
have it on the agenda.
Okay.
Where in the packet is that?
It's in the drive.
Shared, in the shared drive.
Shared
Yeah,
drive.
but like, then there's
It's
like
under
12
facility
files.
study. And it'll go through each
Oh.
building individually, and that was from
Okay,
clear back in 15 though.
gotcha.
And some of the projects on there have been done, like all the electrical has been done besides at Bickerdike. There's been no electrical done. So to me, that would be a priority that needs to happen over there as well, especially if we're looking at playgrounds. Cause that goes underground through the playground, so we need to do that. But it'll have all the, that has all the stuff.
Okay. I just didn't quite,
It took me a while to find it
No one
too.
filed.
It used to be a little easier to find.
I haven't gone through every file yet. Sorry.
There's a lot of good reading in there.
Yeah,
No.
and please know that those prices are probably.
Oh, yeah, they're null and void by now.
Null and
That was
void.
10 years ago.
Have we heard anything back from getting quotes on doing the gym and the kitchen?
So not gym, I got kitchen today, I haven't had time to review it, it was later this afternoon. But in front of you, I was just curious if we were to do a lease purchase for HVAC in the gym, what that would look like. So the first page is a $750,000 loan over 10 years, the next one is the same amount over 15 years. And then the same scenario on the next 2 pages with $500,000. I feel strongly that we need to hold off on this, assess the plumbing. We need to do the plumbing first, take a big look at capital outlay, our plan after we know those prices, and then go from there. But I just wanted you to have an idea of what it would look like. Ideally, you wouldn't want to lease purchase anything. I know we've had that conversation in the past, not locking future board members into a project if at all possible, but we really need to know plumbing costs and some of those others before we can give any recommendations.
The other thing too on these, like the plumbing and other infrastructural needs that we're gonna have to do incrementally, if we can somehow reduce that overall project down into phases, say like we do a portion here and a portion there, what's that gonna cost? Can we do that? Is that feasible? Those types of looks. And see if we can really bring that down as small as increments as we can, or doable as we can, in those projects, and then what would that cost, and can we finance that?
Yeah, we need to, another thing we need to look at, because I know that there are a lot of buses that were bought around the same time, and how many of those are gonna have to
Do
be.
you want to
So-
talk about that?
Yes, there's a grant through KDHE to replace old diesel buses that are 2009 and older. And they don't have to be electric, they can be diesel or gasoline. The state will pay 75%, we will have to pay 25%. And it can be as many buses as we need that we have to replace. However, the bus that we're replacing has to have traveled 7,000 miles in the last year in order to qualify. I sat through a talk about that last week. I just haven't had a chance to download all the qualifications, but that is one way if we want to replace a bus or two, we can do that.
Discounted price.
So it
And
applies.
timeline on that one, was that one May? if I
That's in
remember right?
May, I
So that
believe.
applies to the gas, you said gas?
It
too?
has, yeah, but it
It
has
has
to
to
be a
have
diesel you're
been
getting
diesel,
rid of.
but you can purchase gas or diesel, but you have to get rid of diesel, old diesel vehicles.
We don't have it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We have,
Yeah, but they're not getting drove that many miles.
I think one of them is, the 6014 isn't, that's the one I was kind of hoping for.
However, they did say, so we can apply, they've got, I think, $10 million, and we can apply for the ones that aren't meeting the mileage, so if they have extra money left over, they might be willing to use, or do that. So it's possible we could
That's the thing.
ask for 2 buses.
Currently in our fleet, I know bus 24 is diesel, bus 9 is diesel. I might have to get with Barb, but I think those are the,
Those are the only two.
yeah.
Is there a deadline on that?
And those are our
Yes,
older,
in May.
Oh, it's May.
older buses too, so that would be perfect. And both of them are older than 2009. Bus 24, or that's the one we're,
And they've both been
Bus
totaled
9.
out by the insurance and we bought them back.
But that's a grant that you don't know if we'd be accepted, you just have to apply and wait and
Correct.
see.
And so, we probably want to get it in as soon as possible, because of the funding. And again, if they have funds left over, if we have one of the buses, we're not meeting the mileage, if they have money left over, they may go ahead and allow that one to be replaced also. Of course, those have to totally be scrapped, we can't sell them, it's scrap and they won't allow us to sell them or anything.
We can give them to PBS.
If it's an opportunity to replace some of the buses at 75% cost, and you're willing to, I mean, I'd go for it, write the grant,
Yeah.
apply for it.
How
Barb
far
is-
out would we be replacing these anyway? Do we have an idea how many years?
A couple of them are pretty close.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
should have kept it.
Like within a 5-year period?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They bought a lot of buses and they're in a couple of years.
That would be
Looking at the
helpful.
chart
Yeah.
one
Let me get
time,
it
it was-
pulled back open.
most of them are like 8s and 9s.
Yeah, so bus 24 will need to be retired in 2031 because the year is 2006. Bus 9 will need to retire in 2032. Bus 14 will need to be retired in 2033. So you can see 3 consecutive years those were purchased. And then the next one was purchased in 2011.
We got through.
And then there's more, but those are,
Yeah, so the one we can definitely would work, we could apply for both, and if they have enough money, they would possibly award both.
Go for it.
What'd we pay for that one, 300 some thousand?
Which
yeah.
one?
That was activity.
Big
The
activity,
bus.
that's,
It was
the
The other ones
400
were
and
like-
something.
The others were like,
no, the other one we bought with the straight back seats that we kicked ourselves for.
Why,
Oh,
that was
the
only
one I
like
think.
180,000.
Was that what it was? So we're looking at 25% of that, so that's not.
Barb mentioned the other day that a 14-passenger bus is currently going for, I think, 110,000.
Yeah, so.
So you're probably, if you're wanting a 53, I would guesstimate,
Well, we
I
just
don't know,
bought one last year.
150,000. Yeah,
25.
and how much was that?
I have a question.
130?
If you get it, do you have to go back in with like the same kind of bus, or can you get it?
No, you don't have to, you can get different buses.
Yeah.
These are route buses that we're looking at.
And we can purchase an activity bus, not that, I don't know that we would need one, but it doesn't have to be the same passenger, it's just, we have to be getting rid of one.
Get rid of diesel.
And-
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's something to look at.
Definitely.
Is there any other discussion on this? What our next steps are to do with the bond? And those priorities, I think we've kind of outlined them. Everybody can kind of just think about it a little longer, and we can talk about it again if you need to. I mean,
I think until we know what the plumbing costs, or, I mean, I think that's our obvious first step, and after that, I mean, we can't do anything until we know what that looks like, so.
yeah, we need to, and at the high school, we need to even look at plumbing just in general. You know, not just the hot water piping, but the whole system.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, at the gym, when we have events, they're always having to close the bathrooms because they're plugged up.
Yeah.
Things aren't working, so. Alright, if there's no more, we'll move on. 58-141 departmental reports. A, president of the board. I don't really have anything other than I wanted to tell Katie, thank you for your response on Facebook after the bond failed. That's kind of what I wanted to say, but you said it best.
Thank you.
And if somebody gives you grief for it, I'm sorry, because they shouldn't. So,
It's been well received, so I'm happy
Yeah.
about that.
I
Thank
think,
you.
to all of our administrators and educators, keep doing what you're doing. I don't think the town doesn't support you. They don't support the higher tax on property. So, I just wanted to make sure that I said that. The other thing is, you're looking at the champions of the community for classroom bowling tournament this weekend, right here, Mr. Perez and I. Last minute, decided to jump in,
About 8:30 at
and
night.
he was supposed to be home by 4 o'clock that afternoon, and I got him home at 7.
Yeah.
So, but we won. It was a lot of fun.
Well, maybe we should have
25.
bowling for bucks.
26. Yeah.
26 teams.
26 teams,
Yeah.
26 teams.
Pretty good bowl.
Out
Yeah,
of
my
26
partner, the guy I was gonna bowl with, hurt his knee and couldn't bowl. And so I was like, I don't know who to call, so I asked Jordan if he was bowling, and he said no.
Out of 26 teams? Out of 26 teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I heard there were some regular bowlers that were there and they were not very happy about getting beat by a couple that don't bowl very often.
Good job, guys.
Well, I didn't know Perez was so good.
So,
That's what everyone thinks about me. I don't get it. I put out the wrong vibe, I guess.
so now we have to bowl again in it next year. Sorry, Jay, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to find a new partner. But I'm taking Jordan to defend our title.
That's all right. Well, and wasn't our, the faculty member, weren't they?
Yeah,
didn't she
so
get
we
second?
bowled
Carly and Stan-
Carly and her husband for the championship.
I love it.
And we got to the last frame, and her husband said, well, do you want to go first or do you? And I said, you might as well because you beat us. I'll let you go first. And little did I know that we were actually in the lead. I was looking at the wrong screen. I thought we were losing. So, yeah, we got up there and it was, I think we won by what?
It was close.
8 or 9
yeah.
pins was all, but
Hey, win's a win.
yeah,
Good job.
it was
Yeah,
fun.
congrats.
Wow.
You have anything? you
No,
want?
I was just gonna give a shout out to Community for Classrooms for hosting that event for the schools. It's really cool that they do that.
Any administrators want to add or talk about something that's in their report?
I would add one thing. We got notified today that Brianna Sargwini won a Next Tech Teacher Award. So she'll get a $250 check to support some projects that she has going in her speech services, so that's exciting to celebrate.
Who's this?
Brenna Starr-Winnie.
Brenna
They
what?
had over 300 teachers apply, only 10 got
Wow.
selected, so apply/nominated, so.
Good job. I think that's worth it.
Yeah, it is pretty tough.
Jay, you have anything you want to add?
I would say our numbers for spring sports are fairly high compared to previous years, which is a good thing. Softball, we're sitting around 26, which is a lot more compared to years previous, but we have, I think, 8 Victoria girls. Baseball, I think we're gonna be around the 24, 25 range, which is a good thing, so we can play JV baseball games and JV softball games. And then track and field for both the junior high and the high school are a little higher than usual. And then golf, we're sitting around 20 golfers this spring. Which is great. So, a lot of participation going on.
Good.
Super people walking around out there the other day.
Yeah, I seen all those kids running around too. I was like, wow. You're on the golf team, aren't you, Joe?
Yep, I was out there before I came here.
Today
How
was
is
the
that?
day to be out there.
Yeah.
How is that with 20 others?
I mean, it's good to see that there's a lot of involvement, and we have a lot more girls this year that are interested, whether they're actually like interested in getting into the game or they just need something to do. So it's really good to see.
Yeah.
That's great.
Katrina, do you have anything you want to add?
I did get that price on the,
Already gave it to
oh,
them.
did you?
Yep, I found it.
39, yeah,
Yeah.
so. And I'm just continuously looking for grants and, you see in my report, what we're currently applying for, so.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, keep doing it.
That's not the fun part of your job.
Cody? You have anything?
Yeah, the only thing, I went to the MACE conference last week. It was very AI heavy. My brain was fried on the third day, just trying to take it all in. So I learned a few things that I hope I can share and give you guys examples of next time around.
Tomorrow for me, right?
Tomorrow, yeah, I think you'll love it. Pretty good stuff.
Students, do you guys have anything you want to say or
I don't.
talk about upcoming events? Let us know about. Yeah. Spring break, you excited for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you guys are excited.
You had a dance not too long ago, didn't you?
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart dance.
Sweetheart dance?
February.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. Was that pretty well attended?
Yeah, I would say.
Do you have it in the gym, or where do you have
It's
guys have
in
it?
the
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria? I can't remember.
All right, Ron, do you have anything for the 58-142 board committee report?
Yeah, I do. We met this past Thursday, and of course, like us, we talked about the bond and different ways that we could support the community and going forward with that. You know, obviously a little disappointed there as well, but, you know, we recognize, you know, the majority in the decision that was made. So just looking for ways to be supporting of our community through that Bronco Foundation. Also looking ahead, they've got a couple fundraisers coming up, April the 23rd and the 1st of May. And so any of the funds that we acquire there, of course, those funds or the money that we make goes right back into the Bronco Foundation to help with projects. And so if the community would support that, then that, you know, goes towards those projects that we think is important. If you want to volunteer, the dates are April the 23rd and then the 1st of May. The April 23rd is a track meet, and I think we were talking about, you know, being there about 1 o'clock in that area. And then on the 1st of May, that's our field day for the elementary, and we had a lot of fun with that last year, and that's a little bit longer. I think we started in the morning. So there would be opportunity to help, and then if you need to leave, you can, that type of thing. But I know they would really appreciate volunteers that want to help with that, to work in the concession. And then if you can't volunteer, stop by and grab you something to eat, and that will help with that as well. So that's all I have.
Did we remove B
I think so.
at this point?
Steering committee, do you guys have anything you wanna report?
I think we're meeting Wednesday, aren't we, just kind of as a follow-up, that we didn't do it last week, we do it this Wednesday, I think, just to kind of
A
see
debrief?
next,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
debrief
debriefing.
and next steps and
Where's that? Cause I haven't been,
Chet's.
not yet.
So I need to reserve it then.
Yeah, yeah, they probably won't have it ready for us.
And somebody should sign that.
5:30?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Are you wanting all the naysayers and to be there too?
Well, I was hoping we'd have some here tonight to open forum, but
Right?
nothing.
I don't think so. I don't think we want them there. don't
No, I think we need the ideas and know where to go with it.
Do you want me to send out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I need to get permission for the facility first. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that first, yeah.
I do wanna, I mean, I guess I was on the steering committee pretty heavily and then kinda stepped back for, at the end here because I just couldn't make that work the Wednesday nights, but I do wanna thank everybody that was involved with it. You know, community members, anybody that helped with it. We did take all the ideas that were presented and that's what we used to put towards on the bond. Never once, I mean, maybe one time I heard somebody talk about that building, so when you brought that up tonight, it kinda caught me off guard because Joyce and I started this 4 years ago before Schaefer got involved with a group of people, and it was always kind of the talk of the people even on that committee at that time was the get out of this building and the central office. Close, get rid of both of them because they're both money pits. So, I mean, if it is viable to do here, then I'm okay. I'm with it. I think you're gonna find that there's a lot more challenges and I'm not than what you think. But I just wanna make sure that everybody knows that I think I speak for all of you when I say thank you to everybody for their part in this.
Yeah, there was a lot of work that went into the discussions and each one of the meetings that we went to every single week. And I think probably the most disheartening part is knowing how much of that stuff that had been discussed and researched and went over, and to have all that information and try to get that out to the public, and all it takes is for one person to pretty much say, oh, well, why didn't you do this? Well, you know, we researched it and we looked into that, and there was a lot more steps than just saying, well, why didn't you, or why can't we? So, you know, with the naysayers, I say, you know, come forward with your options, but also be ready to step forward and be a part of that process and not just be a part of the negative campaign against anything that is trying to be done with our schools.
Yeah.
There's, you know, yes, if it could have been done 25 years ago, we can't wave that magic wand. That's never gonna come back. And you can't take the people on the board today and judge them against the decisions that were made 25 years ago. I mean, it's just not, it's not a plausible thing, and there's nothing that we can do about that. So, you know, moving forward, yes, we need the recommendations, but we also need the people that were a part of it throughout the last, 4 years and the 2 years specifically, because there are so many of those things that had been looked into and had been researched to try to come up with what is the best scenario across the board, to, get what needs to be done taken care of, and not price people, you know, to the point where they couldn't manage it. And, you know, those were all things that were looked into. And, you know, it didn't matter which direction we turned, you know, here, you know, the bond was too small, the bond was too big, there shouldn't be a bond, we needed sales tax, all looked into, all tried. So, you know, that's just it. If you're gonna talk and you're going to, you know, negate everything that's done, then you better bring your options, and you better bring some work behind it. Because that's the part of it, that's the hard part to do, within the whole realm of it.
And if people are upset about high taxes, the county commissioners meet next Tuesday morning? Monday morning. And that's really where I think people's anger is at, is then. So if you're watching, please go.
Yeah, go to those.
It's spring break. We're out of town. I'm not.
All right. Take a 15-minute recess and we'll reconvene.
Hey, did anybody take a
There was some
Mr.
hiccups, so
President.
let's
Yes.
hope we fix those.
Make the motion that
It's
we
a slower
go
roll,
into
$2,000,
negotiations,
$2,000.
executive session for negotiations. The open meeting resuming in the boardroom, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? 10 minutes to include Jordan. Anybody else?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session to discuss teacher negotiations pursuant to matters relating to employee and employer negotiations under COMA with the open meeting resuming in 10 minutes to include Mr. Perez. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. See you in 10 minutes. Jane, let the record reflect no action was taken.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Rob.
or do you need to announce it? Never mind.
Go ahead.
I move on behalf of the board that we accept the following resignations. Natalie Abraham, basketball assistant coach at Russell Junior High School. Kara Kinney, assistant volleyball at Russell Senior High School. Dennis Gallagher, head custodian at Russell Junior Senior High School. Tabor Rucker, choir, instrumental teacher at both Russell Junior Senior High School and BES. Tabor Rucker at Bickerdike Band, BES. Tabor Rucker at Instrumental Music Supplemental at Russell Junior Senior High School. Tabor Rucker, again, music vocal supplemental at both Russell Junior and Senior High School. Ashley Counton, Bickerdike Elementary School principal. New contracts and work agreements. Aiden Alvarado, track assistant coach. Braxton Hatch, track assistant coach. Keegan Johnson, track assistant coach. Colby Johnson, track head coach. Wyatt Middleton, baseball assistant coach. Dylan Plummer, golf assistant coach. Mandy Smith, volleyball head at Russell Junior High School. Blaze Stanley, math teacher at Russell Junior Senior High School. Cooper Techner, track assistant coach. Tammon Tiffany, caps teacher. And then Nick Turner, baseball assistant coach. Jordan Bonfelt, volleyball assistant coach.
I'm gonna read the
And
transfer.
then transfer request, I'm sorry, Gerald Lindsay from custodian to a head custodian at the Roseville Junior Senior High School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the the resignations and new contracts and transfer requests as presented in discussion. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
I was reading.
She was sleeping.
Mr. President,
Taking a
I
nap.
was reading.
Yeah, Dr. Ellis.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed?
Got it.
Meeting's adjourned.